Good morning, I'll be your grader for individual testing station Whiskey 3, M249 machine gun. I will be evaluating you during this phase of testing. Do you have any questions before we begin?
I do not.
Roger, you are go ahead and take off your gloves and eye pro. Task, part 1. Clear, disassemble, and perform a functions check on an M249 machine gun. Conditions, you are a member of a team that has just returned from a mission, and you have been directed to conduct weapons maintenance on your machine gun. Standard, correctly clear and complete disassembly of the M249 machine gun, matching the groups to the correct nomenclature within 3 minutes. Correctly assemble and perform a functions check on an M249 machine gun within 3 minutes. All tasks will be performed in sequence. Do you have any questions?
Negative.
Verify all zeros.
All zeros.
Time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, part 1, you're going to be starting in the standing position. You're authorized to take off your gloves and eye pro, as well as leave your ear pro out. Step 1, you're going to make sure the weapon is pointed in a safe direction. You're going to ensure it's on fire. You're going to palm up, pull the bolt back, put it on safe, push the bolt back, push the charging handle back to forward position. You're going to look away from the feed tray cover, pinch and open the feed tray cover, swipe down, checking the feeder pawl assembly, swipe left, ensuring that the feed tray is clear, lift the feed tray up, clear the chamber, clear the mag well, and you're going to check the space between the bolt face, the chamber, as well as under the bolt. Once that is done, close everything up, ensure it locks, palm up again, pull the charging handle to the rear, put the weapon on fire, and ride the bolt forward. You just start clearing. Using these takedown pins, you're going to pull them out. It's your buttstock and buffer assembly, trigger mechanism assembly, it's your driving spring, return rod transfer mechanism assembly. Grab your charging handle, pull the bolt out. Here's your bolt, your slide, and your piston assembly. Remove the heat shield, gas regulator, and barrel. You take out the gas cylinder, take off the bipod, and put down your handguard and receiver assembly. Once you're done, you're going to stand up, and that's going to indicate to the grader that time's up, that you are done.
Candidate, this time you are go for part 1. Verify all zeros.
All zeros.
Time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
First thing you do, take your handguard and receiver assembly, take your bipod, get her in there, take your gas cylinder, drop her in, ensure she seats correctly. Take your barrel, heat shield, and gas regulator, press down on the release, slide her in. Take your driving spring and return rod, fix it. Take your piston assembly, your slide, and your bolt, put her back together. Now it's easier for me to lift the feed tray cover assembly, let the charging handle go forward. Make sure you lift your feed tray up. Make sure your bolt and your piston assembly is lined up. And it'll slide right in. Then put in your driving spring and your return rod. And make sure those 2 notches lock in place into the weapon. From there you can close your feed tray. Take your trigger mechanism. Hold in place. Take your buttstock and buffer. Hold in place. need a tool here. There we go. Once the weapon's fully assembled, you can perform a functions check. Ensure the weapon's in a safe direction. Make sure it's on fire. Palm up, pull the bolt to the rear. While still holding it to the rear, put the weapon on safe. Ensure that the trigger does not fire. Put the weapon back on fire. Ride the bolt forward. And stand up.
Candidate, at this time you are go for part 1. Part 2, please ensure that you put all proper PPE on to include hearing protection. Candidate, here's your 7-round belt. Place it anywhere you would like within the testing station. Task: clear, load, fire until stoppage occurs, perform immediate action, expend remaining ammunition, unload, and clear the M249 machine gun. Condition: you are a member of a team conducting combat operations. You have a stoppage while engaging enemy targets with your machine gun. Standard: correctly perform all steps in sequence within 30 seconds. Candidate, at this time, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Verify all zeros.
All zeros.
Time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, first thing you gotta do is you place weapon in a safe direction. You're gonna ensure it's on fire. Palm up again, hold the bolt to the rear, put it on safe, push the charging handle back forward. You're gonna look down and away, open the feed tray cover, swipe down on the feeder paw assembly, swipe left on the feed tray, lift up, inspect the chamber, inspect the mag well, and inspect the space between the bolt face and the chamber, as well as under the bolt. Once that's done, lower the feed tray. Keep the saw tilted to the right. Take your belt link, brass to grass, ensure that it seats all correctly, all the way to the right. Once it's seated, you're gonna close the feed tray, ensuring it locks. You're gonna place the weapon on fire and pull the trigger. Once you have a malfunction, you're gonna perform immediate action. Palm up, pull, observe the ejection port, push the charging handle back forward, and engage the target again. Once you're out of rounds, you're gonna clear the weapon. Ensure it's on fire. Pull the bolt to the rear. Put the weapon on safe. Push the charging handle back forward. You're gonna look down and away. Open the feed tray cover. Swipe down on the feeder paws. Swipe left on the feed tray. Lift up. Inspect the chamber. Check the mag well. And check the space between the bolt face and the chamber, as well as under the bolt. You're gonna lower the feed tray. Close the feed tray cover, ensuring it locks. Point the weapon in a safe direction. Place it, pull the charging handle to the rear. Place it on fire and ride the bolt forward.
Candidate, at this time you are a go.